why we are facing so many cases related to sex, violence, harassment and these kind of things, and how we can cooperate with the things like this. Because in Pakistan, this is the first kind of that kind of case in which it is not only just a sexual harassment, it is on the top of it with the torture, with the mental illness, so many things are combined in one thing. I mean, having a breakup and moving on and getting a refusal is not such a thing that you can kill a person and beheaded that person. So I would like to know from the psychologist's point of view.
Exactly. The first of all, Sam, I think there is some fault from our profession as well, that so far we are unable to come up with some mental health act and our own indigenous Pakistan Psychological Association. So far we are following the American Psychological Association's the rules and the terms and conditions, which we actually are not following with due apology. The bill has been passed from the National Assembly and now it is being awaited in the Senate to get it approved, and I don't know how many lives they will be murdered like this, you see, before this bill going to be passed. And I'm honestly speaking, I'm really annoyed onto all that, and I've been talking openly on all these issues, you better know, onto the media, you see, since long.
Yeah.
Even at that time when people, they were not ready even to take the word of the Mahir Nafsiyat or the psychologist, you see, or the mental diseases, or the, you see. Yes, we are working on that, but this is a high time. The HEC and all the educational institutes and all the higher authorities, they need to pass that act quickly so that to stop this quackery. I know the quackery is prevalent in every profession, whether it's the dentist or whether it's the medical or whether it's the, but when it comes to the mental health, we cannot play with the lives of the people. So now this is the right time to stop the quackery, and plus there needs to have a license that who can practice and who cannot practice. We cannot give permission to such called organizations who go for the weekly or the for months diplomas or for few levels and then they certified you. There is a difference in being a counselor, a therapist or a motivational speaker.
And unfortunately, in our country, every other person is a motivational speaker. I'm not saying anybody like
only
this.
the motivational speaker, but the life coach. How you can coach somebody's life? You see, even we psychologists cannot coach somebody's life. You see, we do the analysis in a professional, objective way, and then we put up the options, and then we, you see, try to build up the confidence building and how to survive in this, you see, competitive world. But still, we cannot, you see, hold somebody's hand and say, you see, spend life like that. Anyhow, that's another dimension, but the most important point is that when it comes to the precautions, this is the right time that now our children, there's a lot of frustration. There's a lot of frustration in young generation because so much competitive world, so much materialistic approach, so much access to the pornography and to all that information. Obviously, their minds are not mature enough to absorb that information, but they are being exposed to that stimulus, to that sexual. And sometimes it's just not the pornography, it's the sexual violence, and they start getting pleasure out of it. Then they start doing experimenting it, and then they get addict of that. So this is what I'm saying. There's no doubt we are living in a digital world, but at the same time, we are losing the innocence. We are losing the humanity, you see, at the same time. And unfortunately, especially the younger generation these days, oh dog, this is normal. This is normal. We don't see it as an, you see, anymore as an abnormal. And somewhere we being parents are responsible for that. Because we are putting too much emphasis on the education but not onto the grooming. We are not spending quality of time. And with due apology, all the blame is given to the mother. That this is the mom's responsibility. No, this is both father's and mother's responsibility until unless if you are single parent. That's another issue. That's another issue. Otherwise, is the parental responsibility, and especially for God's sake, my humble request is to all of the mothers to grow up their sons, to tell them how to respect others, not only women but to everyone. So that's my humble request to all of the parents now, to sit, to talk with their children, see what the problems they are facing, and if you think that you are unable to handle, seek the guidance of some right professional, right psychologist with whom you think that can guide our children in a proper way.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sahib. And the way you said earlier that they will definitely see how their father is treating their mother, and the same thing they will implement in their upcoming future relationships. So thank you very much, Dr. Sahib. Lovely talking to you.
ये वीडियो सोशोन के ताउन से पेश की गई है। सोशोन पाकिस्तान का नेशनल सोशल मीडिया नेटवर्क है। अपना अकाउंट बनाने के लिए soshon.com पर जाएं या गूगल प्ले स्टोर और एप्पल ऐप स्टोर से सोशोन ऐप डाउनलोड करें और पाकिस्तान का अपना सोशल मीडिया इस्तेमाल करें।